Well, Steve, this is a problem that we're all familiar with, but some people are coming to terms with it in different ways. And this is, of course, the problem of Delta.
Ah.
It's a big problem. It's making Republicans in the U.S. talk about things in a way that they haven't ever before. And I think it's becoming more clear to them about why Delta is a problem. Let's have a look at it here, which you can see, of
Ooh.
course. Oh, that's actually not the Delta that I was meant to talk about. Delta Force, the classic film with Chuck Norris and Lee Marvin. I mean, the thing is, it was even a flawed film at the time. I mean, Chuck was never the greatest actor, and it's not Lee Marvin's greatest work. And even if we look back at the reviews that it had, I mean, 17% on Rotten Tomato. That's pretty harsh. Even an audience score for a film like that that's got red blood meat in America, and Chuck Norris only got 49%. So I can see why Republicans are having a problem with that. But that's actually not the Delta that I meant to talk about, Steve. I'm not even talking about the kind that is at the end of the Mississippi River.
Oh.
No, this is a different kind of. I could only bother to come up with those two. I mean, there's other Deltas, of course. There's Delta Airlines, but that's not such a big thing in the UK.
Yeah. There's a maths term that's Delta, which helps you work out the difference between two figures, but we'll move on to calculus then and differentiation. So it'd be up my street.
I don't want to get you started.
Yeah.
I don't want to get you started in that. We're talking about this Delta, which is the Delta variant. That's the cases in the US of the prevalence of the Delta variant, which makes me want to watch a Chuck Norris movie, to be honest. I mean, that's a lot of the same amount of red in a Chuck Norris movie for sort of action as it goes. But basically, with this explosion of the Delta variant in the U.S., the U.S. is struggling with vaccine hesitancy. And it's prevalent mostly in the Trump-leaning states, in the Republican-leaning states. So basically, if you go through the states that voted for Trump, people aren't taking up the vaccine. You go for the states that vote for Biden, people are taking up the vaccine. And so the Delta variant is spreading in those states. And it's been something that, his supporters and Republicans in general and the influencers in places like Fox News and the even further right Newsmax, they just have not been pushing the vaccine at all. It's not Trump's vaccine. Got nothing to do with them, right? He might have started it, but hey, you didn't vote for the guy, don't take his vaccine. It's kind of been their angle so far. But recently, there's been a change in tone. And by recently, I mean like over the last 24 to 48 hours. You can even go to places like Fox News and watch someone like Sean Hannity, who's been kind of like, oh, well, it's everybody's choice. Do what you want to do. The tune has changed just a little bit. See if you can see where he is on the vaccine at the moment.
Please take COVID seriously. I can't say it enough. Enough people have died. We don't need any more deaths. And it absolutely makes sense for many Americans to get vaccinated. I believe in science. I believe in the science of vaccination.
That's pretty strong there. That's the moment when you realize vaccine hesitancy of your viewers is killing your viewers.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And his viewers are so old, they can't reproduce anymore. They're past that. There's no one coming through. It's not just been Fox News, it's been actual politicians as well. Here's Mitch McConnell, the minority Republican leader in the Senate.
These shots need to get in everybody's arm as rapidly as possible.
I just realized that the vaccine hesitancy of my voters is killing my voters.
You can do an impression.
I did it.
It's really good. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
He's known as kind of a turtle, not just because of that neck thing, because he normally moves so slowly to support anything related to fact or science. But he's nervous now. He's nervous, as many of them are. Tucker Carlson is the other famous person on Fox News. He's been even more pushing of the vaccine hesitancy and the vaccine doubters. Here he was on the same night as Hannity was saying, go get the vaccine.
Hardly attacking vaccines or trying to convince people not to get them at all. I never have done that and won't.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty firm that he's coming out saying that he's not attacking the vaccine. What's always important when you make a statement like that, emphatically, is obviously what comes next.
Hardly attacking vaccines or trying to convince people not to get them at all. I never have done that and won't. However,
that's the however I'm adding. I would never attack the vaccines. However, I'm going to spend the next hour of my show attacking the vaccine. However.
It's two impressions.
It's not as good as your Mitch, but it's good.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's true. I think it's true. I just identify more with the Mitch persona. I don't want to be Tucker Carlson. Anyway, not all Republicans are on board with this shift in tone that we've seen. I think you've heard of Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? She's the representative from Georgia. She's the one who said that forest fires were started by the Jewish space lasers.
Okay.
Now, I do want to be fair to Marjorie because she has come back and since apologized for that statement. Not to Jews, just to the space lasers. She's very sorry about the space lasers. She doesn't want any space lasers to be upset with her. The Jews, she's not so fussed. Where is she on whether people should take the vaccine?
But people can also say due to religious reasons they can choose not to take vaccines. And I think it's really, it's people's choice. It's definitely should be a choice.
I like that sound. I like a Republican saying, my body, my choice. I'd like that to catch on a little bit. We should make choices about our own bodies, like what we put in them, what we allow to stay in them. Maybe more women should. They're never going to flip that over to women's right to choose, are they? Sense. They're never going to see the hypocritical nature of that argument. Anyway, so she's out there kind of basically being sort of wishy-washy on the whole vaccine thing. Let's just find out right now. Has she or has she not herself gotten the vaccine?
Have you yourself gotten vaccinated, and do you disagree with the Republican whip?
Well, your first question is a violation of my HIPAA rights. You see, with HIPAA rights, we don't have to reveal our medical records, and that also involves our vaccine records.
And just to be clear there, Steve, that's not her hippo rights. Oh. That's a different thing that Republicans do when they go to Africa and kill endangered hippos. These are her HIPAA rights, which is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, which does allow for some privacy when it comes to your medical records in the United States. And she's saying that when this reporter is asking her about her personal choice to get a vaccine, which is about her body, that he can't ask her that because that's protected by her HIPAA rights, of course. Now, we since know that that actually is not true. People can totally ask whether or not you're vaccinated, and it doesn't violate her HIPAA rights, but, whatever. Jewish space lasers. Facts. Let's not let facts get in the way of anything that we want. Now, the thing is, this is going to get close to something that's personal to you, Steve, because you believe yourself to be somebody who studied science.
I believe that to be true. Yeah.
Believe in that thing called science. Mm. Now, Marjorie Taylor was asked, the woman who believes in the Jewish space lasers, about what the science that supports the vaccines. And does she at least support that? And this is what she had to say.
Do you believe in science, though? I believe in God. And, of course, there is science. I don't worship science or think that science rules everything. I believe that God rules everything.
There you go, Steve. She doesn't worship science like you do. She has a belief in it. She has a belief in God. God maybe made some science, so she believes in some of the science that God made that is convenient and allows her to believe what she wants.
So she doesn't go to the laboratory every Sunday and take mass, but not Catholic mass, just actually the quantity which, when times by the force of gravity, gives you the weight.
Yeah. I think that's what she does. Yeah. She believes in it, in God, but doesn't believe in the science. Oh. But I bet she believed in the vaccine, and that's probably why she took it, but doesn't want anybody to know that she took it. Overall, what we're seeing here is a massive shift because so many people that are on the Republican side of the ledger are going to get sick from the Delta variant, and because they're not getting the vaccine, they are going to die. And that is awful, and people need to get the vaccine. It's very important. And so the Republicans are coming to the game now to try and raise vaccine awareness. And I guess the question is, how do we feel that Republicans and people on Fox News and so on are doing with their COVID response? And we look at their review. Oof. Oh, that is bad. That's even bad. That's even worse than Delta Force.
Oh. Thank you for watching this from Comic Solving Problems.
And if you feel like it, go ahead and like the video.
Or subscribe. Commitment.